You're listening to Tea and Touchdowns, the British take on the American game. We are back with another episode with myself, Ed, and I'm in the studio today with my good brother Felix. It is actually, we say this every week, but it's going to be a quick pod this week. We're gonna aim for an hour. You get me? But we're gonna aim for an hour. Whether that works or not, I don't know. For those watching the videos, excuse the appearance. It's been a long time since man had a retwist and shave, so we're looking a bit raggo. You get me? I'm going eye towel now for the people. Then, you know what I'm saying, Felix?
Okay.
Get me? Eye towel things. But today we're gonna quickly talk about a couple stuff that's been going on this week. Davante Adams looks like he's gonna be on the move. When we don't know. Probably before the trade deadline. We'll talk into some of how. Whether we think that was a sensible move in the first place, him going over to the Raiders, where his possible destinations can be, and I guess generally what's going on over there, man. They're looking not great. Also going to give Jared Goff his props. I know this one's going to burn Disu, it's going to burn Felix a little bit, but we saw Jared Goff have a perfect game this weekend, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Kyle Pitts as well. I know this has been a discourse on the internet, obviously having someone pick that high, and his production and where he's at going into his next contract. And then we'll briefly look around the league and see what else happened this week, you know what I'm saying, before coming to our predictions. So yeah. So without further ado, I mean let's take a trip down to Las Vegas. So obviously this week it's been, in fact, was it this week? Yesterday, today? It was officially said that Davante Adams has put in a transfer request. Transfer request, is that what we call it? A trade request. A trade request, sorry, rather. At first, it was more of he said he would rather be traded if they had to do something, but it seemed like he's actually asked to be traded now. Mm-hmm. This comes off the back of obviously quite a disappointing period in Las Vegas. It was quite interesting following him around, watching the Raiders, receiver show for any of those that watched it. It was really cool. But we know that he left Green Bay after kind of understanding there was some tumultuousness with Aaron Rodgers. Decided to go over to Las Vegas because he wanted to play with his high school quarterback, was it, in Derek Carr? Yeah. And they always had this thing that we're going to play together in the league, so they wanted to make that shit happen, and then they shipped Derek Carr out of there. And we've seen, generally speaking, it just hasn't been that great over there in Vegas. So it was kind of taking that all in now. I don't think he's very happy, and it looks like he's going to be on the move now, trying to find somewhere else to call home. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let's start first of all with that move in itself. Like, when that happened, I was a little bit surprised that he picked the Raiders because I thought he wanted to go and compete and do whatnots. Do you think that plan was dead in the water from before he got there, or?
Okay, so I think when I first heard he was going to go to the Raiders, yeah, I was like you, like, why are you going to a team that's not really a contender, going to a division where they already have two QBs? Well, we have one certified GOAT level QB. Then we have another guy who they like to try put on his level. Who they've kind of stopped now, but at the time, innit? At the time. But when he did go to when he did get there, he was still putting up numbers. It's not his numbers his first year. He was still 1,000 yard receiver. You know what I mean? Especially his first year. I'm actually just looking at the numbers now. He had 14 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. He caught 100 of 180 targets. So he was doing the mad thing. You know what I mean? Last year was a down year. He only had 1,144 and 8 touchdowns. But
still a good season.
Still a good season. So it's not as if his individual play has still been good. Although, yes, the number, it has kind of gone down. But the team not having success. I'm sure that he wasn't expecting Derek Carr to get sacked the way he did. You know what I mean? Because they sent him packing, bro. They actually sent him packing.
Real quick.
and he's 32 at this point. So he's probably now thinking, bro, maybe I should just ring chase. But like, even with that, there are a lot of teams that he could actually go to. Like legit, there's probably, as of right now, the Jets and Chiefs are probably his best options out of what's out there. Because I think all the other contenders actually have too many guys, and on top of that, anywhere he goes, he's probably going to want a new contract.
Yeah.
So,
you reckon he's going to want a new contract already?
Yes, because he doesn't have any guarantees. He has no more guarantees in his. Yeah.
Okay, fair play.
So, like, okay, he could even go to like the Ravens, but Lamar don't throw the ball outside the numbers. I'm sorry to say, he throws middle of the field. That is actually his bag. Middle of the field throws, because his tight ends always eat. His receivers don't eat like that. Unless they're on.
I mean, Flowers has been getting,
bro.
his reception.
Flowers is essentially a slot receiver.
Respect my eyes, actually. To be fair, Rashad Bateman's their outside guy, really. Isn't it?
You know what I mean? And then if anything, they'll even try and throw deep. Like that's that. See, I don't. Before we move back, I just want to say that Lamar, if he's not throwing outside the numbers, if his receivers are going to get the ball, it's because it's middle of the field or it's downfield, like a deep shot. Man's not just throwing to the hashes and shit. But anyway, back on Adams. I just think it'll either be the Chiefs or the Jets. I mean, the Chiefs literally have no receivers at this point, and the Jets. Look, I've watched one full Jets game, and everything else has kind of been highlights, and here and there I'm just watching bits and pieces. The one game I watched, I wasn't impressed. I did not really like what the offense. It was actually quite boring. It's so boring. Like, and Aaron Rodgers. The thing is, Aaron Rodgers at the Packers, his game was aesthetically pleasing. I think I had to pause that. I don't know. You never know how some people.
No. That one you can run still. There's no VAR needed on that one.
All right, cool. So whereas at the Jets, it's bare dump offs. Even on the intermediate throws, it's kind of wonky. If he's throwing deep, there's no. It was just all bad. It doesn't look good, innit? So maybe with Adams there, they can get something going because they already have a rapport.
Yeah, and I mean it's under Nathaniel Hackett as well, so you've got to notice another thing where he's familiar with the offense. He's familiar with A-Rod. That timing stuff is all kind of there as well. I don't know what their salary cap situation in New York is, but as we've said many a time on this, I think it's something where when people want to make space,
they'll make space. Yeah.
They'll make space in it.
I saw something that said they can trade for him, and they can afford to pay him this year. I don't know about next year though, but they can at least, if they're to trade for him, they will definitely be able to afford his contract this year.
Yeah, there's been a couple different teams. So I know you mentioned the Ravens. Ravens haven't been brought up too much, but it's mainly been the Jets. And the Saints were probably the second team, obviously with the Derek Carr connection. But it would to a degree. They haven't really got a solid number two. And I guess, but again, the Saints are supposed to be in a rebuilding phase. So whether or not they're willing to kind of get rid of a second round and maybe some more compensation alongside that to get him probably wouldn't make sense to me if I was rebuilding. But this is the Saints and they don't really operate with sense. So that is an opportunity. As much as the Chiefs make sense because they have no receivers, I'm sure if offers are matched between the Jets and the Chiefs or any other team in the league for that matter, I feel like the Raiders aren't going to trade Davante Adams to the Chiefs.
Yeah, in-house rival.
An in-house rival in a division. They're thinking, nah. I mean, they know they're getting packed and potioned anyway, but I don't see them actually trading him to a rival like that. So again, it'll be interesting to see where he's at in a couple weeks' time. I think the trade deadline comes up in about 4 or 5 weeks, I believe. So there is still a little time for this to develop, but I can imagine it will probably get done fairly quickly.
Could you see him at the Steelers?
I think the Steelers would be sick. I could see him at somewhere like the Steelers. Whether it's worth it, I don't know. Again, in an Arthur Smith offense, receivers aren't necessarily high up the priority list. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
He's quite similar in that regard to the Baltimore Ravens, whereby it's going to be a lot of tight ends. But with Fields, we saw a lot. I mean, even you say that he doesn't throw outside the numbers, but even when he faced us, whether or not that is solely because of our safeties that they mentioned, there was no throws in the middle of the field. It was all outside of the numbers. So it proves that it can happen. Maybe if he has the talent there, then that might be something. But I think they would, taking Adams there would actually be pretty good. Having him, Deontay Johnson, and what's his face, George Pickens, those are two certain number ones. And Deontay Johnson's still there, isn't it? He's
at the Panthers.
No, he's at the Panthers. Sorry, they traded him away. Tell a lie. Apologies.
They got someone else. I don't know. I don't remember his name though.
I can't remember the slot receiver dude, but it's George Pickens and Adams there would be really cold, and obviously Freiermuth stepping in as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But again, I'm going to put my money on the Jets. The Jets need to do something to kickstart their offense. Their offense stinks. Like, it's really bad. Like, you're losing games where, you're holding the offense up, so opposing offenses to under 15, like under 14 points, under 10 points, and you're still losing the game. Do you know what I'm saying?
But we do have to caveat that with they're playing the Broncos, and the Broncos are actually consistently one of the best defenses in the league.
But still, like, to consistently be that low scoring is quite concerning.
It's mad. No, it is.
Considering you've got Aaron Rodgers at QB. Like,
Aaron Rodgers at the back end of his career, man.
Yeah, but still, man. Actually, do you know what? That's cap. Let me not say they've been consistently low scoring, because it's only really that game. But it's just the offense looks quite stagnant. You have to be better than that. And this goes on from last year. Even without Rodgers, that whole offense looked just meh. But this week against the Broncos in particular, it wasn't good watching, like you said. But I can imagine if they get him, it does add another threat at the very least, and a threat that it's a known commodity.
I think he definitely. Okay, any team he will go to, he will definitely improve. How big that improvement is depends on the current composition of the team. So, for example, with the Jets, they already have a very good defense. They have arguably one of the best QBs of all time. Who, like, regardless, he's come back from injury. He looks okay this year. I don't want to say he hasn't looked like his old self, but he still looked good, serviceable. He can still get the job done. They have a run game. Wherever that run game, how good that run game is, I mean, it depends on who you speak to, innit? But
they've got players there, but a run game as a whole just takes more than players.
The run game, for example, is really between Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, like sharing carries. Because when you watch them, it's not as if one of them is going for like 100 yards or something. Nah, them man low-key kind of sharing the carries, isn't it? So if they bring in Adams and Garrett Wilson is tidy. Two route runners, so that means that's two guys who should be able to get open relatively easily.
All right, so who drops out of that team at the moment then? Because you got Garrett Wilson, you got Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, and they brought Mike Williams in this year. Now Garrett Wilson's probably their number one. Alan Lazard is the only other player that Aaron Rodgers has some sort of previous history with, connection with. Yeah. And Mike Williams, they just brought in this year, didn't they? So are they really going to drop him out again? Unless he's included in the trade, which I don't think they can do.
But I think, okay, so what I think is going off Mike Williams' career so far, he gets injured almost every year. So unless you're hoping for him to be able to play the whole season, man, he's always getting injured, isn't it? And if I'm honest with you, to me, Davante Adams is better than Alan Lazard and Mike Williams anyway. So
I hear that.
Man, them got to get in where they fit in, innit? That's where I see it. Honestly, that's where I see it. Because if right now, if he was to go to that team, the only person with more like receiving yards than him is Alan Lazard. Because
What?
Davante
On the
Adams
actual
has like
team.
on the actual team.
Okay.
So it's like he already has more passing yards. I can even check the rest of the numbers, but
I'm just having a look at it
I
now.
yeah, he has like 208 or something passing yards, receiving yards, sorry, so far this year. So I just think that anyway, any team he's gonna go to, obviously this is kind of also off name, and I'm trying to get away from doing the whole name thing.
Yeah.
But when someone has a name, they have a name for a reason. Like he'll go there and he'll get more targets than Alan Lazard will, in my opinion.
What about Garrett Wilson?
I think Garrett Wilson is getting the most targets out of everyone on that team. So Garrett Wilson, by default, he's probably going to go machine for machine with Garrett Wilson.
Okay, fair. And but the thing is, so my final question kind of around this here, is it worth it for a team to do it? Because like you said, he's 32 years old. You're going to give at least a second to get him. And then potentially if you have to give him another contract. Now, if we go back and look at all of the top tier receivers, they get to 32, 33, and then that wall hits them. There's not many receivers that you can say have produced at that level past that kind of age. So how worth it is it for a team to actually give up the compensation to go and get him?
He's never been injured. That's the difference between him and a lot of the other guys. If we're honest, like Julio kept getting injured all the time, so it started to affect his actual game. Des, for example, once he injured his foot, he was never the same guy. OBJ, ever since he done his ACL, like he's kind of just been.
He's been a sick note for years, man.
Yeah, so like if anything, he's shown that he's actually durable. So you and based off and his game isn't necessarily based off his physical ability. It's route running. It's all kind of his footwork between the ears. Knowing what I mean? Yeah, knowing the soft zones and stuff like that. And you don't necessarily. I don't think you necessarily lose that. Obviously, you can start taking a beating, so your body can break down. But he doesn't necessarily look like. Maybe the way I see it, maybe he has like another two seasons based on the team he goes to of like Pro Bowl level play. And if the QB is like a worldie, maybe he could get can put up all pro numbers. Then after that, yeah, maybe he's done.
Okay, so you reckon 2 years of Pro Bowl level receiving?
I think so. I mean, unless you feel like okay,
and by that you're talking what 1,100 yards and
something touchdowns. Like that. Oh, you have a 17-game season. If you're on a decent team, I'm considering that he's anywhere he goes, yeah, people are still going to look at him like, no, this guy's a number one guy. So they're thinking he should still be getting a lot of targets. And if his catch radius is like 60-70%, he should be able to hit that.
And to be fair, even if it's not him, he's opening up the field for a lot of people. You're going to have to cover.
You know what I mean?
You're going to make the offense better. No, fair. Okay, cool. No, I think that's fair. But we'll be interesting to see where he goes. I would love him to come to the Falcons. I don't think it's very realistic. Even if it's for a year, I would take him, not going to lie. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm not putting any stock on that until I see some rumors. Then I might get high. But it's not. That's the least of our concerns at the moment. Cool. All right. So moving on. Jared Goff. I know you love to hate on Jared Goff.
He's trying to beat the allegations right now. I can't lie to you.
But it's not very often. In fact, I can't tell you the last time I've seen it anyway, where someone's had a perfect game. What was he? 19 for 19, I think it was. Or was it 18 for 18?
18, yeah.
Let me actually get up his numbers so that we can actually give him his proper plaudits against the Seahawks. Yeah, so 18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Passer rating of 155.8. I have to respect his thing. Pause. That game was actually really good to watch. I can't lie. I actually enjoyed it. First of all, the Lions I would say are quite comfortably now, in my opinion, the best team in the NFC. If I'm being entirely honest with you,
Right
I
now.
think. Yeah, I feel like I have to say that right now. As of right now, the 49ers could be, but as of right now,
So you don't like the Vikings, or just think the Vikings just had a good run?
I think they're a bit of an aberration, man. I can't.
But is that not how we felt last year? Did they wait? How many? Wait, did they have a losing season last year?
No, they weren't great last year. That was Kirk's
That
last
was the
year.
year. Was
Remember,
that the year before? Was that the year before?
Kirk got injured halfway through the season, and then they were playing.
Yeah, let me
They're
check
playing
something.
backups. So I don't trust the Vikings as much as I trust the Lions, because I've seen the Lions do this near enough 2 seasons in a row now, 3 seasons almost. Do you know what I'm saying? Remember, there was a year where it was kind of like these men are on the edge. Then they blew up, and it's like, okay, cool. They went divisional, and then now we're seeing them continue in the same trend.
Mhm.
Watching this game, it was annoying because afterwards I saw people talking shit about Jared Goff, saying, you know what, he wasn't even a better QB in the game. Because yes, Geno Smith did. Well, Geno Smith had a really good game, but I feel like it's harsh. You can't take away from what Jared Goff did, and I think one of the reasons why you're going to see people say that is because he lent on the running game a lot. There is
Yeah.
They've got a great running game in
Yeah.
Detroit with Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. And I don't know if you saw some of the runs there, but Montgomery had one run where he trucked somebody in the backfield. 2 or 3 men tried to bring him down. He said, nah. And then he bounced it out and still took them for a chunk. It was the nastiest, angriest run that I think I've seen in a long time. Sick. But yeah, anytime it kind of comes into the red zone, it's just hand it off. But when he had to throw, a lot of it was kind of off the play action and stuff. But he was putting the ball where it had to be, and he wasn't throwing any kind of them risky throws, in my opinion, anyway. Which was something that you've seen him have a bozo gene every now and then. A couple ducks get thrown in the air, but nah, he was doing all right. And I think there were times also when I saw him, in times where maybe he would have tried to force something, he took the sack, or he conceded the safety, which was silly. But those are times where before you might have tried to throw it, and then that's kind of where you get your dumb interceptions, your pick sixes, and so on and so forth, which you weren't doing. So I kind of have to rate the growth there, and I like what they're doing offensively over in Detroit. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. So I know you men are pissed because you got allegations and stuff that you don't want him to be beaten, but there's not really much you can say about him now, is there?
Bro, I don't, fam. I don't need to say anything, man. I actually don't. If I think he's this stint at the Lions has definitely improved his stock, considering how he was viewed when he was at the Rams. He was kind of viewed like, oh no, McVay's carrying him. He's not really carrying his weight. But I mean, his whole career, he's always been able to rely on the running game. Like, and as all these analysts and stuff like to say, a QB's best friend is his running game. You know what I mean? Like, that can take the pressure off you, especially. And when you have a running game like theirs, with sound as dynamic as Jameer Gibbs, and then a fucking truck in David Montgomery, like, why would you not? Why would you not give him the ball, bro? The fact he only had to throw the ball 18 times should tell you everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
literally. That should say everything. He threw the ball 18 times and still had almost 300 passing yards, brother.
Hey, it's called efficiency, my guy.
Brother, I wish my QB could have that. You know what I mean?
Your QB ain't good though.
All right, okay then. All right then.
I prefer when you used to bite on that shit, bro. Oh,
no,
man.
I'm done. Like, I feel like. Anyway, we'll talk about the Cowboys. For Goff, I generally do think that him going to the Lions is like a redemption arc for him, because it's definitely improved the way people view him. He's like, you can see that, you can also see he himself. I feel like he's actually also improved in certain ways. He obviously is not mobile, etc., but he looks after the ball still.
He can move when he needs to.
He can, he's all the things that seems to be a detriment at the Rams, he's worked on. I feel like. So I'm not going to. I have no reason to shit on him anymore. You know what I mean? The streets already think that Dak is better than him. So there's no beef there. You know what I mean? I wish him long life and success.
Well, no prosperity, no.
Fam, he's already prospering.
No, fair. No, I hear you. All right. When I come scratch my head, people can see my dead house plant in the back. I need to give that thing some more love. But no, you're right, man. I think it's been a really good redemption arc for him, man, and I'm happy to see him actually doing so well. Would you put him as a top 10 QB at the moment?
Based off this year or in general?
Just say generally, right now, would he be in the top 10 QBs in the league, would you say?
If it's generally, I think maybe he'll be top 12. So yeah, someone could probably talk me into a 12 to 8. But the thing is but it's because I feel like he's been better than Trevor Lawrence, for example, and they have Trevor Lawrence in the top 10. You know what I mean? I feel like
he's been better than a lot of them.
Yeah, so like but it just sounds mad for me to say, yeah, he's top 10, but he shouldn't. There's no reason. Who's gonna fight me? Like, you know what I mean? Like I think that I don't think there's that's wrong. I don't think so. Like, because unless people are gonna be like, yeah, but he has a running game. That's fine. He has good coaching. I mean, don't all QBs want good coaching? You know, like, there's only so many things you can throw against man's name. So it's like, all right, cool. You're now being very nitpicky.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, if you want to say he's top 10, yeah, I think he's near the bottom.
But he could creep into there.
Yeah, easy. Like, I mean, he's had so far since he's been at the Lions, he's actually improved. He's been good. He's been consistent.
Sure.
He's been consistent. So I mean, I ain't gonna say he's like 16th or something like that, because I do think he's played well enough to, if you want to put him in the top 10 conversation. I mean, you've got to start writing down the names. Yeah, because he's been better than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been.
I got next week when we bring the agenda reviews back. I'm loading it. I'm loading it for that, brother.
You got something for him, yeah?
I got something for him. Still. I got something for him. We're gonna have a deep dive into his numbers. But so whilst we're on this game, I know we've spoken about the Lions and Jared Goff, but I have to say something for Gino. Obviously, he had a great game as well. He threw it significantly more times. He had to throw it 56 times that game. I know his shoulder was on fire, but he's probably still icing it as we speak. But he was throwing dots all over the place as well, man. Like, he had a really good game, and a game where there were certain turnovers and stuff that didn't help. I mean, DK had the fumble, which I think put the Detroit Lions scored off of that as well. He tried to make the comeback arc as well, but it didn't quite happen for DK, unfortunately. I think he went down about a yard before he got his touchdown, which Kenneth Walker took in the end. But I know he's big mad. But what did you think of their performance? Because I was quietly impressed with them, although they did get beaten quite heavily. I think Gino had a really great game. Kenneth Walker is stupid fast. I didn't realize how fast he is, but
bro,
he's rapid.
I think it was Kenneth Walker who had one play where they tackled him, but he didn't actually touch the ground. Man just bounced off of them and just kept running. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's done that. And then Montgomery did that too. I don't know if you remember, there was Montgomery for the Lions where he tracked somebody. Someone hit him and they fell on the floor.
Yeah, no. So I saw that one, but with Kenneth Walker, the guy actually, like, the Lions defender, I believe.
Oh yeah, he did the flip. He did the flip over his head. Yeah.
And he just kept going. I was like, all right, cool. Okay. All right. Is that what it's showing me? Fair enough.
They got a whole bunch of cyborgs in that place, man. They got DK Metcalf doing crazy things as well. Like, because even the one where he fumbled, I was looking at that thinking, why is this dude so strong, bro? There's 3 men trying to drag you down, and he's carrying them over the first down marker. I mean, he should have gone down, but it was
when you're trying to make a play in it. I think that's one thing that. Yeah, it's true. But what I'll say is, I do notice that people, for some reason, it's only until they fumble that people are like, oh no, you should have just taken the. But when you're playing in the heat of the moment, you're trying to make a play. You're trying to get as much as you can in it. So, and
to be fair, sometimes you can't go down. Like,
no, you can't.
You man are underneath me, so
yeah,
like, what am I supposed to do?
Unless someone's going to dive at man's head. It's you know what I mean? Unless refs aren't going to call it dead if they can see man is still moving. But what I will say is, I do think the Seahawks are good. Their defense isn't that great. The O-line is higgy, but since they got Shane Waldron out of the paint as OC, there's been a marked improvement in their offensive play.
There's something that I noticed about Geno though, and I don't know if maybe I need to go back and watch a little bit more. He likes to climb the pocket, which is cool. But there's times when it almost looks as if he always has to walk into his throws. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like he has to take a run up sometimes. It's something that I noticed in this game. And because of that, I don't know if it's him climbing. Again, it might just be how he's climbing the pocket, so it makes it look that way. But it looks like he's got quite a long release, and then he ended up getting a couple sacks this game where maybe it was because, I think it was he got sacked 3 times this game, I believe. No, sorry. Did he get sacked 3 times? How many times did he get sacked?
Yeah, he got sacked 3 times.
Was it 3 sacks that he had?
He got sacked 3 times. Got sacked 3 times, lost 12 yards.
Yeah, so, and it was stuff like that where I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. Or there was certain throws where I think, again, he's just trying to make a play, and I'm looking at it thinking, don't do that. And then, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel a bit on edge, and I don't know whether that's because it's Geno, but it's like, when you're watching something, I'm like, ooh, bruh, like,
I think what it is Geno has fully bought into I'm a gunslinger. He's just and the thing is, he has the receivers to be like to do that. Yeah. So I mean, until obviously, because when you have Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN,
you can do that,
bro. Man, you're just gonna be throwing it all over the gap.
There's times when even to JSN, like there was a couple passes where he stepped up, and it's like he's just clearing like a D lineman's fingertips.
But that's a part of the reason why he's
throwing it into a window, rubbish. And then it's like, oh, bro, that could have been picked off. And I can imagine, like, I'm not a Seahawks fan, so I don't really care. But, bro, if I was watching that every week, and then my heart would be in my mouth, man. I'm thinking each one of these could go left.
But I get the feeling that if his O-line wasn't that bad, he probably wouldn't have to do all of that. So I sometimes think we underestimate how much QBs may change some of their mechanics or the certain moves they might do just because of how their O-line is. So they may not trust certain sides, so they're fidgety. They're like, okay, bro, my right tackle is on budge all the time. So I need to keep the corner of my eye treating him as I'm moving. Or they might be like, this left tackle is a fucking turnstile. He's a bloody stripper at Magic City. I can't trust either of these guys, so let me just keep moving up. Let me keep moving up in the pocket, because if man's dropped back to a super deep, he's probably getting sacked the moment he drops into his, like, maybe on the fifth step, just because an edge rusher doesn't even need to like do any mad moves, just duck man and then he's gone. So I do think that's probably part of it. It's also probably just a thing of he's just confident. Just thinks, you know what, I'm gonna throw it. It's gonna get to him. And right now it's going off. It's like last year with Dak was throwing into some mad windows last year, and it was banging. Like some of the throws he made last year were insane, to the point that people were like, I've never seen Dak play like this. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, that's where, not to say the luck plays a big part of it, but some of these plays that
it's luck.
One day it's that's a sick throw into coverage. tomorrow that was a reckless throw that got picked
Yeah,
off. You know what I'm saying?
that,
And it's a thin line between,
yeah,
you know.
literally.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
but either how, man, I think it was a good game by both of them. You know, large up Jared Goff for his perfect game. I think that's an achievement anyway. To leave a game with 100% completion, you must feel like a guy, man, when you step off that field. But
yeah, for real. He didn't get the game ball though. Dan Campbell said he didn't even realize he completed all 18 of his passes. He
who did
gave
they
the
give the
game ball
game
to
ball
someone
to?
else. I didn't see it. Didn't say in the tweet. I should find out. Let me find out.
That's cheeky, man. I can't lie. I'm swinging everyone, bro. Give me that game ball, bro. Because I know Jared Goff ain't done that before, and he ain't about to do it again. So you better keep that game ball for his perfect game. Go on, let's find out if we can do that before we move on to our next topic. This one's gonna pain me a little bit still. So, whilst you're looking for that, man, let's kick this off.
All right. Okay, just to answer your question, the game ball went to Ben Johnson, Jameson Williams, and Kirby Joseph.
Okay, cool. Kirby, he made a sick interception. Kirby Joseph's interception in the end zone was cold.
Yeah,
so I'll allow him. Jameson Williamson.
He's low key. He's low key starting to.
Oh, he's cooking. It's not even low key.
Yeah, he's cooking. Yeah,
he's cooking. All right, cool. So that game finished 42-29 to the Lions. I believe the Lions now move up to 3-1. Both now the Seahawks as well, both 3-1. Right, on to more contentious issues. Kyle Pitts. So obviously he was coming into the league touted as a unicorn, a special talent. All of the descriptive words that you can think of for a generational talent. We saw it in the first year. Came out the first year, it was like, okay, all right, Kyle Pitts, I see what you're saying, son. Then we haven't really seen that level of production from him since then. So there's starting to be whispers, even amongst my own fan base, where they're kind of saying, nah, man, he ain't it. He's a bit of a bust. My views on it are slightly different, I think. But I'm intrigued. First of all, let's start off with what we see as a bust. By definition, first of all, what is a bust to you? I guess is probably the first question.
Where you're drafted, the position you play at, that can also play a role. But I generally think it's down to where you're drafted, and your production based on where you're drafted. He was a top 4 pick, and his production isn't good. Like, if we look at his numbers,
do you also factor in who else was taken in that draft?
No, because I'd rather because it's talking about him only. Because that's the same draft that Michael Parsons was from, no?
Yeah, Michael Parsons. I'm pretty sure Jamar Chase and all them man as well.
Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, bro. There were a lot of man from. In fact, I can even check right now.
No, I'm pulling that up. Don't worry about it. But yeah, continue your your explanation of a bust.
I think it's your draft position and then your production relative to where you were drafted. If he was drafted top 4 as the 4th overall pick, man can't be giving me 600 yards, bro. You know what I mean? Man, no, because for you to be a top 4, that means you're actually meant to be guaranteed you're going to at least see a second contract. Like, guaranteed, we don't need to have a conversation about whether we're going to pick up your 5th-year option. Like, you're meant to be a cornerstone of your team if you're picked that high. Fair. And right now, he's your. I don't know who your other tight end is. Who your other tight end is. So going off names, he's meant to be your tight end number 1. He is not pulling up tight end number 1 numbers.
Okay.
He had three He had 3 targets this game. Didn't catch any of them. If we're now gonna do but he had good blocking and stuff, that's cool. Your Titans are meant to be able to. Your Titans should be able to block. Not all of them can, but if they can't block, they should be good receivers. If I'm picking a Titan number 4 overall, and then the best thing I can say is, he's improved in his blocking. We have problems, bro.
Okay, that's fair.
As you've also said, his first year that's also probably hurt him because man put up 1,000 receiving yards. So you're going in thinking, all right, you might have some Travis Kelce or George Kittle type guy on your hands, and then the next 2 seasons, he's had 1,000 yards. It's not. I mean,
no,
we can say
you have to
injuries.
factor in injuries, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, we can do all of that. But then, like, as I've said in the group chat, I don't know if I said it on the pod, but bro, no one cares about context, innit? Only the fans of the team in particular care about context. So for you'd be able to argue for this guy because you have all the context. I don't watch the Falcons week in, week out, innit? Man, I only watch I might do hate watches just to make sure that you're not chatting rubbish about these men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes we got to check, but like I'm not watching them super closely. I'm not seeing all the media days. I'm not watching them during training camp. I'm not. So like there's more stuff that you can say, but if I just go for what I'm seeing, man, he's not lived up to that top 4. He as of right now, he's a bust. Now I can ask you, do you think he's going to get a second contract? And if you say yes, it's going to be because you're going to get him at a discount. He is not getting top of the line Titan money.
No. I can't see that happening right now. And
if you're top 4 if you're picked top 4, you should be getting top of the range money.
Right. So, as you mentioned, obviously context isn't something that's used by everyone. But I have to add some here. And I think there's been a couple factors. And this is not to deny that I believe his production has been subpar, because I do believe it has. But I think there are factors that we also need to factor in where some blame needs to be apportioned to various places. Do you know what I'm saying? I think in the first year, you had Matt Ryan, first of all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not enough people give Matt Ryan the plaudits for how good a quarterback Matt Ryan was.
Yeah.
That is something that we forget. Matt Ryan was a perennial top 10 quarterback for pretty much his whole career. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a standard that you're going to have, and especially a quarterback that's been in the system, that knows where he's at. He's been there. He was there. And you saw the production that we got out of him. It was unfortunate that in the second year, obviously, we lost Matt Ryan, threw everything up in the air. You then lost people like Calvin Ridley and all of those players. In fact, I think Calvin Ridley didn't play. Did he play that year? It might have been the next year that he went out. Lost a whole bunch of players. And then, worst of all, we had Marcus Mariota. So it's kind of put him in a situation. Which he then went on to go and get injured. And the injury that he had at the time, obviously quite a serious one, MCL, I think, and then some of the other CLs, PCL, all of these other ones where he had done quite a bit of damage to them. So he was out. And then you saw him come back the season afterwards, and he just was a shell of himself anyway. So I admit, we haven't seen since first year the kind of explosiveness that I've seen from him. Like, I was even watching some videos of him today from first year. The explosiveness, the speed, the playing angry that he used to do, you haven't quite got at the moment. I don't know whether part of that's down to confidence being low, but it could play a factor in it.
Or something. Yeah, his head could be kettled right now.
His head could be kettled, which is one part, but I'll put that aside. My biggest issue at the moment is he is a tight end. And if you look at the route tree, when you got a route tree of the various routes, a tight end's route tree is slightly different to a wide receiver's. And the requirements of the physicality that you have and the types of routes that you're going to run are going to be different. So let's start with the Saints game, for example. I think that's the most recent one in people's mind. And like you said, it's easy to go and say, oh, he had 3 targets. He didn't catch none of them. My issue with that, and saying, not to say that it's not his fault, there was one of them maybe he could have caught, maybe. The other 2, I don't put it on him. Not many receivers would make all of those plays. He's a tight end who is not shifty. You're never going to be shifty. He's not a Jamar Chase. He's not a Davante Adams where they're going to step and hit a slant and make separation between a receiver. There's not many tight ends that can do that. You're not going to see Kelsey do that. You're not going to see Kittle do that. Even the top guys, you're not going to see them do that. So lining him up as an ex-receiver and having him run slant routes against someone like Marshall Lattimore, who has top wide receivers in straps.
Yeah.
What are you expecting a 6'6" tight end to do in that situation? You see where I'm coming from? It's not the type on the slant. Are you anyway? Listen, do you know what I'm saying? So, bro. If you're gonna do that, I can understand. If you're gonna do that and you're gonna put him on a dig route, do you know what I'm saying? Like put him on a dig route, go to 10, come back to 7, or something like that, or something where, okay, cool, now you can use the size, and I'm gonna throw it up to you and box out because we need you on that 3rd down, or settle into the middle of the zone quickly and whatever. But coming up against the Saints, who are a very heavily man defense team, putting him on a slant against people like Marshall and Lattimore makes no sense. If they're playing man, he should be in a 3-point stance, offline, or on the end of your line, and line him up against one of your against a linebacker. This is where a tight end eats. Yes, he's been good in the blocking game. He's when I say good, relatively to who he is. He's not a blocking tight end. He's not a George Kittle, but he's played well on the backside blocks, creating like cutback lanes and stuff for the running game. I can't knock him on what he's done so far this season. But if he's not getting those matchups against a linebacker where he can actually use his size and speed to his advantage, because this is the dude that ran 4.4 something in his combine. He's fast, but he's not quick.
Yeah.
He's tall. It's like, have you ever seen Disu run, for example? He's not quick, but once he starts opening up his stride, he's off.
Yeah.
Look at. I know it's a silly comparison, but even look at Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was terrible off the start. Why? Because he's not quick. But once he gets into his stride,
and he's off. It's like Derrick Henry. It's like Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry as well.
Once he starts going, you actually won't catch him.
You won't catch him.
Yeah.
So a great example is this. If you look the week before last, where he made against the Chiefs, you had him run like a deep drag route. Oh no, it was a corner route. I think it was. It was either a drag or a corner. I can't quite remember the route. Now you can see and get separation, because that's the type of routes that he's meant to be running. Now you put him into space. Now he can utilize his speed and stride to get into these areas. And you're lining them up against a safety, or you're lining them up against a linebacker. Now you're getting a mismatch that makes sense. Every time he was brought into the league, and this is the thing that people forget. Yes, he was called a unicorn, but he was also called a mismatch. Like that was his biggest USP. This guy is a mismatch, because you're not normally going to get a tight end that is that fast, or as well as being that tall. Bro, he's 6'6" with a massive wingspan. So, no, man, I feel sorry for him in the fact that I do believe, like, no, I don't think they're playing him in the way that they need to be playing him entirely. So you're putting him in situations which makes it harder for him to succeed. I don't know what the plan is there, but I can't put it all on him, man. And I'm really hoping that he has like a game that brings that confidence down, because I do believe that now one of the biggest issues that we have is that he's not playing with confidence, and you can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can see it. But just to round up, that's not to say that there aren't things I think he can improve. I think the tight end position requires a level of, you got to play a bit angry. You're like a linebacker of the offense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to, like, you have to want that ball more than the next person.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
there are times when I don't believe he's playing that hard. That's when I start seeing you're playing like a bit like a wide receiver, where you're not really trying to get that contact, or you're not playing as angry as somebody that big should be.
He's not physical. He's not physical
He's not
enough in his
physical.
play.
Yeah. Like,
He's very finesse.
You're too finesse for a tight end.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there are times when, bro, that big, you need to be able to box somebody out.
Yeah.
You need to be like, I am going to up to get this ball, and you are not going to stop me. And you don't see that. You very rarely see Kyle Pitts leave his feet. He waits for the ball to come to him. I think there's things where he needs to go out and high point it. I think Kirk Cousins said this even in training camp. He would like to see him go out and high point the ball a little bit more, or go and get the ball as opposed to waiting for it to come to him. And maybe that's why there's not much chemistry between him and Kirk, because Kirk doesn't he rarely looks his way now. Like, a lot of the time, Kirk's looking at Mooney first, and then maybe Drake, and then he'll come to Kyle.
That's fair.
So, you know, it's
But do you also think that a part of it might just be because currently in your offensive scheme right now, he's as you've also kind of alluded to, he's just not being put in the best. He's not given the best opportunity to win. Essentially, like, they're not putting him in position to utilize his actual skills. Maybe he's being used as a decoy so that they can get other guys going, rather than thinking about maybe get this guy going too.
If I'm being entirely honest, whatever it is that they're doing, it's not working anyway, because the offense hasn't looked fantastic. Do you know what I'm saying? So something's not happening, something's not working. And the reality is that you have to get your playmakers the ball. Like, I like to see that, they're giving Bijan a lot of carries. But not every game are you going to be able to use the same formula.
Yeah.
In the last game, you saw Bijan wasn't really getting the yardage that he was in previous weeks. So, and I think he picked up a bit of a hamstring injury towards the second half. So he brought in Tyler Algier. It worked out that actually Tyler Algier was the fucking guy for that game, because he started running it and smashing the man in the mouth. Yeah. There's a different tool for every game. There's going to be certain games where, like, Darnell Mooney might take up. I preferred Darnell Mooney this week. I hated Darnell Mooney last week against the Chiefs, because when you're trying to put him on those little screens and stuff, Darnell Mooney does not want any part of contact. So, like, he didn't want it. And so, fine, that's not going to work that game. Have someone like Drake London do these things, because Drake London, the one thing that he does like is fucking contact.
Yeah. He's very physical.
He's very physical. He plays how I would like to see Kyle Pitts play. You know, and for Kyle, I just haven't seen that game yet where it's like, all right, cool, you know what? You are going to eat this game, you know, and you just need to go off. Which in the first year we saw it. There were games where he went off for like 160 yards, 150 yards, and we're not seeing it no more. So I don't know, man. But to call him a bust,
bro, right now he's a bust, man. Like, it's unfortunate, but for his draft, at the end of the day, for his draft position, like, he's not pulled up trees. His first year sold everyone a dream, essentially.
I guess so. And the reason I asked earlier on is, like, whether we're taking people into consideration that were in the draft, because look, the reality is Jamar Chase went next pick. So
and look at him.
So you ask yourself, all right now, you know, I've got Jamar Chase and I've got Kyle Pitts. Who would I prefer on my team? Or, you know, you've got, who else went after him? People like Penei Sewell, Jalen Waddle, Patrick Surtain, Michael Parsons, Rashawn Slater.
Smith, Rashawn Slater,
You know, there was a lot of talent that draft. So you start asking yourself, all right, cool. Was it worth it? And the thing is, I still believe that he is the talent that we thought he was. I just don't think he's reached it just yet, which is unfortunate. And if we're not going to, I said it the other day, if we're not going to try and put him in a position to succeed, then I would be intrigued. I would like to see him get traded. Not because I think he's trash, get him out of my team, but I actually genuinely want him to do well, so that he can stave off that kind of talk of he was a bust. Because it's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. I can imagine. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But I do believe in the right offense with the right coach, he could be an absolute madman, because his production hasn't been bad. That's the maddest thing. If you actually look at his yards per catch and things like that, he's not being bad.
Yeah, but like this is another thing though. Like, the armchair fan isn't going to go and check all of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
of
like,
course.
For you, because you're an actual fan of the team, you're gonna know about his. You probably have an idea of how many yards he gets after catch and shit like that. I have no idea because I don't actually follow them. But like,
and it's when you make, so like, for example, if there's somebody that makes key contested catches on third down, those catches are equivalent to 3 first down catches, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are clutch catches.
You're a chain mover. You're a
chain mover. Or there's times when it's like, bro, okay, cool. When you've needed this guy, he's popped up and he's made the play. And so there are times when I'm like, all right, cool. But again, like you said, if you're just a fan that's not going to be watching all of these plays and stuff, then it's like, all right, you know what? I'm not seeing him on the highlight reels every week. And that's what I was expecting to see.
Obviously, that's an issue with the casual fan, isn't it? But like, even just for him, I just think that his production, even with all of that, bro. I mean, we were talking about it last week, innit? We're having the debates and stuff, and when I was like putting up other Titans numbers, you're like, oh right, okay, you know, like, and the thing is, because in your mind you're like, no, but Carpets is better than these men. But when someone starts bringing numbers to you, then you're like, oh, okay, it looks a lot closer than it actually is.
But the numbers weren't, even with the numbers weren't crazy. Yeah, you know I'm saying.
No,
I mean,
they weren't.
outside of last week, I was saying I was irritated with the fact that Goddard went off that week. It just so happened. In fact, let me just check what Goddard did this week. Actually, let's see whether he's returned to norm, because certain man. No.
It's a Titan. A good Titan season is normally like 700 yards.
Right, and if you look at what Kyle Pitts has done every year, he's hit that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
his first year he had 1,000. His second year he had like 300, but he got injured.
His
third year was last year. He got like six or 700. So he's close to the average, innit?
Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but even with that, this is what I mean. If you're picked number 4 overall, I need more than that.
You're not gonna be fair.
Like, you can't come to me because where was Dallas Goedert picked? You know what I mean? Most of the Titans that are picked in the first round, them man don't really slap like that. They put up very like normal numbers. Like Travis Kelce
it was a high second round pick though.
Who was? Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was, but he wasn't picked number 4 overall.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain cachet. Like, man can say, if the day he retires, yeah, and he's not even the day he retires, the day he's talking to his child is sitting on his lap, they're having a conversation. Man can just brag, bro. I was a top 5 pick.
Man came to bring the kids into this, bro. Don't piss me off.
Man can brag that he's a top 5 pick, but then after that, what else is he bragging about? Like, I think that's a part of it. There's too many narratives and things you can say, and you can come with all your numbers based off your team, but people are gonna be like, bro, I remember that guy. What did he do?
Listen, it's coming, man. I got faith that it's coming. It's coming.
Man has 7 touchdowns in 4 seasons.
Oh, I mean, chill on him.
He sounds a lot like Julio without the yards.
Fair play. See what you did there. But you can send shots for Julio. He ain't my guy no more, boy. That
was more shots at Kyle, to be fair. But I would prefer to not say he was a bust, but bro, currently the trajectory is not looking good, in it.
All right, cool. Nah, fair. I think that's a fair. I'm just saying, all I'd say, my final comments to that is y'all gotta chill on him. Just wait. I think his time is coming, man. It's coming. It's definitely coming. All right, cool. So week 4 roundup. Obviously, it was an interesting week around the league. We're gonna make this real quick because Let's start off first of all with our predictions. I'd like to say that Disu has not been watching tape this week or this year. In fact, as you can see, 6 right for Disu. I came second with 10. Felix, bravo.
Yeah.
12 wins. I had to recount it a couple of times. I thought, nah, man, this ain't right. I thought I was cooking, and I see this guy get 2 extra ones right. So, large up for you still. Good lad. But flying around the league, there were some interesting.
We can talk about my team. Should I talk about my
team? Let's talk about Dallas real quick. We
have loads of injuries as well. It's peak.
Go on, start off with Dallas. How was it this week against the Giants? Obviously, it was a game that you were expected to win. Kind of went life and death with them, but
Yeah, no, we definitely did. We definitely
which was crazy, but
but you know what? Yeah, what I would actually say is that Daniel Jones played a lot better than I have seen previously. Also, the Giants might be a bit better than they were in especially last year. Last year we put 40 on them both times.
They got Malik Neighbors there cooking.
Maybe that is because maybe that is a part of it. But I mean, Daniel Jones was a lot better. He got the ball out really quick. It's not like he was. I'm not gonna say he was amazing or anything. I think Dak was better than him, but that might just be me being biased, isn't it?
Well, Daniel Jones has been benched now anyway, so.
Well, did they actually bench him? I know that they went up to him saying they want a change in QB.
I don't know if he's been benched, but I'm pretty sure there have been players that are going asking for him to be benched.
Yeah, they've asked for him to be benched. I mean, in the game, the Cowboys, they still can't really run the ball. The receivers still can't really get separation. The O line is okay. It's still a bit of a sieve. Our tackles are low key still like they're strippers. One works at Magic City, the other one works at what's the other one? KOD. Like it's a bit crazy, fam. It's a bit nuts, like you know what I mean.
Wilson's working at KOD, bruv.
Our starting edges are now injured. Like Micah won't be back until maybe before the bye. D-Law is probably gone for at least 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
You say Micah's gone to the bye?
No, Micah's injured. Micah right now is injured. He probably won't be back. Yeah, he won't be back until maybe before the bye. So
when's your bye? What week's your bye?
We have like 2 or 3 more games before the bye. Maybe I think it's week 7 or 8. I'll buy.
Damn.
I'll buy. So we're without Micah at least. So
he's coming back fresh for our game then.
I think they're saying that he'll probably be back for the 49ers, but he's going to miss the Lions game and the Pittsburgh game 100%. You know what I mean? But I mean, in this game, we're okay. The first half is when we did most of our work. Second half, I don't really know what these men are on.
Yeah.
Like, I think we have a lot of problems. Still, I think we could squeak into the playoffs. Right now, I'm not very hopeful. I said last week that I don't think Derrick Henry would make a difference for us. He probably would, but I still don't think our running game would be that good. Just because I saw what Derrick Henry was doing at the Ravens, but the Ravens are a run first team anyway. Like the Cowboys, until these lot got to be honest with themselves.
When you lot got a running back though, you are a run first team. That's the reality of your team, bro.
No.
When you had Zeke, that's what you were.
No, because Zeke was Zeke, bro. You see, even with that year, by Zeke's 4th year, really and truly, they should have started putting the ball in that times a lot more. Like Zeke, year 1, 2, and 3, undeniable. But from year 4, you actually started to see the numbers drop. And they were still giving it to him. Like, if anything, maybe a part of it is the whole stuff we talk about with your situational awareness. Like, when in certain situations, maybe the QB should throw the ball rather than the running back carry. Like, those are some of the issues we used to have. But since McCarthy has been here, we haven't necessarily been a good running team. I mean, our running backs have got 1,000 yards, but like it's not look great in it. But in this game, we managed to get the win. We're going into next week. up against the Steelers. I mean, I don't fear the offense, but the way our rookie left tackle looks and the way our right tackle looks, TJ Watt, if he leaves that game with three, if he leaves the game with 3 sacks, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's your right tackle you need to worry about. TJ Watt don't ever leave the left side of his line, so you're right,
bro. So Terrence Steele, listen, today, look that game.
that's gonna be running for his life, where.
Bro, and the thing is, and I think since that broke his ankle, I don't even think he's really comfortable running the ball because he doesn't. Because you can actually see that he's lost some of that running ability. He can still run, but he's not as fast as he was and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which is probably another reason why our running game is probably suffering because he used to actually run. He wasn't Josh Allen with the running. You know what I mean? But he did enough to get you good first downs and stuff like that. Bro, Jared Goff looks like he runs, like he can run a bit more than that can. That's how bad it is right now. But at this moment,
Jared Goff, you know,
bro, it's mad. It's mad. But I would still say that this week was a lot better compared to previous weeks. The offense has started to look a lot better. There's still a lot of work to do. But even Brandon Cooks, he's injured now as well.
Oh damn!
Yeah, we had bad injuries, bro. We got so many injuries. It's mad.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna pretend that seeing my enemy struggle is not something that I love to see. But yeah, man, I love that for y'all, honestly. But okay, cool. So it's not looking good for y'all, but. That's good. Okay, this is good.
We're still 500. We're at least 500 in it.
For now. Next week you're going down to 2 and 3, baby.
I don't know, man. The Steelers, unless them men are gonna be running in pick sixes and like fumble recoveries for touchdowns, I think we should. I feel like we can still beat them. It's just gonna be a lot harder because our defense. We've lost our basically 2 of our best. Like 3 defensive players.
Yeah. All right, cool. No, I feel like Justin Fields got something for you still.
Oh boy.
You got some. All right, cool. Some of the other games actually this weekend. So, I mean, we can touch on just really quickly. Obviously, my boy Jaden Daniels, we said he's him last week, still continuing on the tear. It might be more than lightning in a bottle, man. I genuinely believe that he might be the next up. He's in there cooking.
After CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I think he could be the CJ Stroud of this year. That offensive rookie of the year looks like is firmly in his hands to lose at the moment. He's continued like kind of an amazing run. They pretty much score on every drive that they have. And you saw, I mean, there was a graphic that we had in the group chat earlier on about points per drive. And if you look at, let me just pull it up real quick. What I should have done was saved it so that I could
put it on the screen.
Put it in on the screen. But if we look at points per drive at the moment, we have the Washington Commanders at 3.56 points per drive. In comparison to the next behind them, who New Orleans, we have to factor in the fact that they had 2 really amazing games in their first 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. They kind of come back down to earth.
Yeah, they're playing normally now at 3.10. 3.1, and then the Cincinnati Bengals at 2.9. So there is a big gap between kind of the level that they're doing per drive and how many points they're scoring, which I think is a real testament to what Jaden Daniels is doing there. So they beat the Commanders 42-14. Go on.
Quick one. Do you think that this is also a redemption arc for Cliff Kingsbury? So essentially, maybe he's a better OC than he's a head coach?
I think so, potentially. It's him, and then also an opportunity for Dan Quinn as well to try and do his redemption arc of being a head coach. But I personally don't think he was a bad head coach. I quite like Dan Quinn, if I'm being entirely honest with you, man. But yeah, definitely, I think with Cliff Kingsbury, if he can keep this going, it will be a redemption arc for him. The maddest thing is, when he was at the Cardinals, you forget that there was the year where the Cardinals were unbeaten up until
for like
the
11 games or something
in
like that.
11 games. It was only when Kyler Murray got injured, and then they had to play Colt McCoy, and then they lost DeAndre Hopkins as well when he got injured.
The funny thing is, when he was at the Cardinals, each year he got his team's record got better.
But he had the Cardinals playing ball, and this was with a Kyler Murray that was playing Madden instead of reading his playbook.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like there was any real reason to get onto someone like Cliff Kingsbury, because I thought he played particularly. I think he coached very well. I can't lie. It was just it was just an air raid offense, which is what they like to call it.
And it's still air raid now, because he literally just it's mad that he just has man throwing downfield all the time. He like Jaden doesn't really do checkdowns and shit, you know.
If it works,
he's really stretching the field. Like Papa's just stretching the field.
But they have to, though. It's the thing with Jaden. He's a real dual threat in terms of he's a real dual threat in terms of he is so dangerous with his feet. And he's not shifty like Lamar, but if you give him the running lane to go, bro, he's off.
Go. Yeah,
he's off. You saw that from his last season at LSU in particular. Like, bro, he will gash you with his legs.
Yeah.
And so as a team, you have to be prepared to defend both of those things. And I think it gives them that kind of freedom to say, all right, cool, now we're going to challenge you to try and do these things. So I like what they're doing over there, and I really like Jaden Daniels. He's definitely one for me, man. Another great game we saw this weekend, obviously the Ravens against the Bills. I selected the Bills this week, but the Ravens weren't trying to lie down for this. I don't think they wanted to go. They weren't trying to lose. They didn't want to go. They weren't trying to go 1-3, and so what I saw this game was I saw bullying. This was Ravens football at its peak. You know, when Ravens are like, you know what, we're just bigger and stronger, and we're just gonna beat you up. No finesse, no razzle dazzle, just straight
punching man up.
Just straight punch man up. You know what I'm saying? Just doggy. Okay. No.
What? Yo.
No romance, no kissing, no razzle dazzle, no exotic things.
Just got crashed straight away, bro.
I said spit. Pow!
Hey, bro, the way they put belt to us, man, they really flogged them. And
it was like, so seeing this game, I looked at Derrick Henry and I said, this dude is meant to be over 30 and washed up. Dude ran for almost, he was a yard shy of 200 yards on these, man, of 24 carries.
Yeah.
Every time I looked up here, Derrick Henry was running at somebody or breaking off something crazy. I said, this is a long day for these, man. Lamar Jackson didn't really have to do anything much again. Only threw for, I think he had 18 throws, completed about 60-70% of them. And he got his 2 touchdowns. But it was horrible, man. Like, I was really surprised. I thought the Bills defense had something for them, but bro, it was a beatdown like never before seen.
Nothing. They had nothing for them. Like, from Josh Allen threw the ball 29 times, only had 180 yards.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The other thing is that they played on both phases. So the defense, the Ravens defense was playing well. Like, bro, Kyle Hamilton, yeah, again, another player. One of these days, you lot need to understand that my college scouting is on point. Think about all the players that I've been telling y'all about.
If there's one thing I'll say is that you're really good when it comes to scouting, like DBs.
Listen, my DBs, it's not just DBs, bro. Don't try and put me in
DBs. Your DBs are really good, man.
Listen, the
reason why you're really good with all the like scouting stuff is because your team don't pay for no one. So you're like the Cowboys, but you just don't have all pros.
I said Kyle Hamilton, that draft, I said this is the dude I want, bro. But we didn't take him. Here's what it is. But you know, obviously now we've got our safeties as calm. Kyle Hamilton, who else did I draft? we're gonna, we can touch on Tavondre Sweat again, another dude that's coming out of Texas. I told you I want this guy. We picked that monkey Rukaroro, bruv. Like, but we even moved up. We moved up to take Rook, and look what Tavondre Sweat's doing.
Yeah,
he hasn't played.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
No, he hasn't played, bro. He hasn't played. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
But anyway, back to the Ravens. So like seeing them man play, very very cold. Marlon Humphreys was making plays as well. I saw him make up a couple plays, but it seemed like the Ravens have finally found their gear. Do you know what I'm saying? They're just a proper team. You kind of know what you're getting with the Ravens every year. They're going to somehow give you your 10 to 12 wins at the very least. They're probably going to be within the top 3 seeds in the AFC. We just enjoyed the period of time where it was like, damn, these niggas lost 2 games in a row. But the reality is they were never really going to be that team. And we're starting to see them click into gear.
Yeah, they're one of the top teams in the league in general. So, I mean, they've always had a top 10 defense. Their offense can kind of be up and down. But when you have Lamar Jackson, whether you're up and down or not, he's gonna make it happen regardless, isn't it?
Yeah, he was making stuff happen. He was getting it cracking this game, man. Again, making it happen with his legs, making it happen with his arms. Nothing too crazy, but when he did have to throw it, it was nice. Do you know what I'm saying? Good team, man. Good team. And also, like, I haven't mentioned Justice Hill. I like the combination of running backs that they've got with Justice Hill and Derrick Henry. It reminds me quite a lot of how they had in Tennessee, where you had James White and Derrick Henry at the time.
Oh yeah, so you had the pass catching back,
right?
And then the
Justice, like, bro, playing defense against that type of team is long because I've had this man beat me up for 2 downs, and then now you're gonna bring this fast suit on to come and make a catch out the backfield.
Yeah. And he can still run the ball.
Do you know what I'm saying? And he can still run the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's it was really good to see how they use them, man. And for those that enjoy watching running backs play, they probably got a little bit creamy over there. But it was it was a really, really good game, man. But the Bills, I'd expect to see them better, and hopefully I think next week they should bounce back. They've got the Texans, which could be a tricky game, but I can imagine them bouncing back in that game.
I reckon they will spaz on them, Like even what's funny? We didn't mention would the Bills not potentially be a good destination for Davante Adams?
Nah, he ain't going there, man. You think he's gonna move his family out of warm Las Vegas to go and play in Buffalo?
Upstate New York.
Nah, that ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening.
At least he'll be with a QB who like has like Super Bowl aspirations and shit, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
This year is actually the best year for another team.
He'd be definitely better than someone like Matt Collins because,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'll come in and he actually be a good receiver because at the moment it's Shakir. Not Shakir, is it? What's his name?
Yeah, Shakir and Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman's good though. He's proper.
Yeah, he is.
He's jumble merchant, but he's a proper one.
He's a Mike Evans region.
Yeah. Oh, even a Mike Williams. He's a hybrid of the two, man.
Yeah, I'm making you say that he's a tight end.
No. That's Kelvin Benjamin. We ain't seen one since then. Kelvin Benjamin's he's a reward type Kyle Pitts. But anyway, some other ones. Obviously, let's talk about. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to mention something. The Chiefs are the most fraudulent 4-0 team I have seen in my entire life. Because the way they're 4-0, they could easily be 1-3, and I'm going to join the bandwagon of people saying that the script writers refuse to let them lose in it. They are gagging for that repeat. But again, they struggled past the Chargers team, which weren't very good. Mahomes was not playing very well. I don't know what's going on with him. Travis Kelce, I don't know what Shorty done to him, but she took all his talent, like the little aliens in Space Jam.
Yeah.
Since she stopped coming to games, boy, it's looking rough out there. You must be heartbroken. I don't know. Bro, somebody also said this because his Shorty, is not his ex. So he ain't got the
Come on, man.
he ain't got the je ne sais quoi no more. Yeah, that was me. Somebody said it in
What are you saying? That the soul food isn't souling anymore.
Man said the soul food ain't there no more. You get me?
It's a bit too much. A bit too much salt and pepper. Not enough all purpose. Yeah.
Man said he started sounding like the other Kelce brother now, man. It's crazy. But
now it might be because they got 100 mil for their podcast.
Oh no, man! But bro, I'm saying things changed. He stopped with the looking trying to drippy and stuff. Man grew the mustache and grew his hair out and looking like
Post Malone.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not looking good for him, bruv.
He's gone from hip hop to country. I hear it.
It's absolutely crazy. Because hold on, let me just quickly check what Travis Kelce's stats are. Because if people are going to start,
he had 89 yards though. He did have 89 yards.
What? This is the first time, bro. Listen. 158 yards the whole season, bro. Please get that foo lame shit out of here, son. Grow that beard back, yeah. Start appropriating again and get your stats up, boy. Anyway.
Okay, you're moving, man. but the thing is, they definitely need wide receiver help.
They need a wide receiver now because Rashee Rice is also out for the year. He's done his ACL. He's done for the year as well. So. I don't even know who their number one receiver is. It's Juju Smith-Schuster, isn't it? If he's still alive.
It doesn't look like. Let me not lie to you. I didn't watch the game, but based off what I can see from the box score, it doesn't look like he played. So
yeah, it's rough for them.
I did see some highlights, and I saw Sky Moore with some drops. I like Sky Moore coming out of. I like Sky Moore coming out of college though. I thought he would actually be something because the way the draft analysts, the way they were gassing him up, I was thinking, okay, so this could be a somebody. And yeah, I feel like maybe they wish they had released him instead of Kadarius Toney, but we'll never know.
But anyway, other than that, man, let me just quickly fly through the results last week. So
the Giants finished as well. I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know that Hurts is cooked.
Oh yeah. We love that. We love that. But I hate the fact that they keep losing to NFC dudes, man. Like, just smack up everyone else in the NFC South and then lose to everyone else, please. But, bro, how do you come and get weighed in by all three? Oh, no, the Saints didn't beat them. Alhamdulillah. So, yeah, the Cowboys beat the Giants 20-15. The Bengals seem to be winning some games now, beating the Panthers 34-24. Falcons beating the Aints 26-24. We didn't even have to score a touchdown to beat them bum asses, but it is what it is. The Texans squeaking past the Jags 24-20. Broncos beating the Jets 10-9. Green Bay Packers losing to the Vikings, who continue as one of the only unbeaten teams in the NFC at 31-29. The Colts with an impressive win over the Steelers, 27-24. The Bears also finally knocking up some wins. Maybe that 10-win thing is not a complete myth. Beating the Rams 24-18. Bro, it absolutely baffles me how the Bears are even 2-2. But with that O-line, fair enough. The Bucks, I can't lie, are concerning me because they stay putting up points. But
bro, them man are real.
Baker shaking and baking. I don't know. I might have to repurchase my stocks. I think I've got a couple of them lying around somewhere. But he's up block now. So, but they beat the Eagles 33-16. 49ers beating the Pats 30-13. 49ers seem to be coming back. It's unfortunate about Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He has what I currently have, bilateral Achilles tendonitis. And bro, I can barely walk on the best of days. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but we might not see him for a while, if at all, ever again. Because the thing with tendonitis is it might get better for a week, then you aggravate it, and it's like, sit down again. And so it'd be a real shame if it kind of ends his career, but we'll see how that goes anyway. Cardinals, you mentioned, got battered by the Commanders 42-14, large up Jaden. The Chiefs squeaking past the Chargers 17-10. The Raiders beating Deshaun Watson 2016. Boy, them man are awful. But the Ravens beat the Bills 35-10. The Titans beating the Dolphins 31-12. Their season is toast, by the way.
They're saying that Matt McDaniels is a fraud. They're saying Tua made Mike.
Listen, the numbers are saying it. Like, bro, Tua's gone, and suddenly it's been real spooky over there. Still,
you know the issue is that he actually picked a very shit backup QB. I don't know why he kept that Thompson guy. He's rubbish, bro.
No, but it's Tyler Huntley, man. Bro, Tyler Huntley threw 14. He completed. Sorry,
but he had like 100 yards.
He took 22 times, only completed 14 for 96 yards.
Bro,
I can't lie to you. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I think I could complete half of those still.
Tyler Huntley, I like Tyler Huntley.
Bro, he's a reboard. They tried to angle him like a
reboard. Lamar. Bro, you remember when Lamar was out and they were like 8-3? They brought him in because Lamar was injured, and we're like, oh, who's this guy that looks like Lamar? But he's like Lamar if Lamar had the crazy bozo gene.
if Lamar missed like 3 chromosomes, bro,
it's so crazy.
Nah, he ain't it, man. He ain't it.
Because he seems like he has the running ability, but the passing's not there, and maybe the running isn't really there like that. But it just looks like it.
It's not popping over there, brother.
No.
And finally, obviously, the Lions you spoke about beating the Seahawks 42-29. All right, cool. So let's crack on with our predictions. We've got 3 minutes to get this done within an hour and a half. We definitely went over the hour that we said we were going to do. We go again next week. Anyway, so first game, Thursday night football, Falcons, Bucks. I'm going to go my boys, the Falcons, of course. What are you telling me?
I'm going to go Bucks. I feel like you lot can't put out points, man.
All right, cool.
You lot struggling.
Yeah, we got something for them steal. Vikings, Jets. I am going to go the Vikings here. 5-0.
I'm going Vikings.
Brian Flores is going to have their man seeing ghosts, bruv. It's going to be crazy. Chicago Bears, Panthers. Oh, this smells. But I'm going to go with the
Bears.
I'm going to go with the Bears also.
Yeah.
Commanders, Browns. I'm going to go with the Commanders.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go with the Commanders.
They're the best team in the NFC East, so boy, relax. Pats, Dolphins. Oh, this game is going to stink, but I'm going to go with the Pats.
I'm going to go Dolphins. I'll go Dolphins. All right,
cool. Jags, Colts. Again, crazy, but I might have to go with the Colts here.
Nah, I'm going Jags.
Cool. All right, Texans and the Bills. I'm going to go the Bills. I think they're going to have a bounce back win here.
Yeah, I'll go Bills.
Ravens, Bengals. It's going to be a good game, though. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that one.
The Bengals have started. They've been turning it around slowly.
I'm going to go the Bengals here. I'm going to say upset.
Oh, you consider that upset? I mean, they are 1-3. They are 1-3. I'm gonna stick with the Ravens just because the Ravens always beat the Bengals.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go with an upset here. I know this is gonna bite me in the ass, man, but all right, Denver Broncos, Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders.
49 Cardinals. This always is a good game.
49ers.
I'm gonna say the Cardinals here. You know. Seahawks, Giants. I'm gonna go Seahawks here. And then Rams and Packers.
Rams and Packers.
I'm gonna go the Packers here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Packers. The Rams ain't got nobody. Them man are injured.
All right, cool. Monday night football. Well, Sunday night football. Sorry, we have Cowboys Steelers.
I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Cowboys. You lot better not let me down, man.
We have no defense, but somehow I just think Dak is gonna do what he needs to do.
All right, cool. And finally, Monday night football: the Chiefs and the Saints.
The Chiefs. Ooh, wait. Whoa. Whoa. I'm gonna go Saints. So
Oh, for real?
Bro, they ain't got a receiver. They like the Saints actually have a good defense.
Oh, they ain't got no. Listen,
I'm
praying for that Mahomes does. They continue their foot. This is where Kelsey has to start stepping up. I want to see 140 yards from Kelsey, bro.
Yeah, it has to be one of them games. It's Travis Kelsey, inshallah. Has to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Just he's down there somewhere. Throw it. Has to be one of them ones.
You finna catch something. All right, cool, wicked. So that has been week 4. We are stepping into week 5 next week. We will be back with another episode. Thank you for listening to this one. Again, you know where to find us across the top. How do I do that thing? You got a point. I got to do that.
You got to add like.
I need to start adding them things there. Start doing all of that crap. So like, press this button here to subscribe. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know where it is, but whatever. TEAANDTDS. That's on the Twitter and the YouTube and the Instagram. Follow us. You can also listen to the pods in audio form on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you get your podcast from. We're all there. And yeah, tell somebody to listen. Y'all listen, and so on and so forth. And we will be back next week. Peace.
Bye, guys.